approach you because I know you might be, or I think you might be interested, I don't see any harm in that. And if I, as in like example, if I tell someone, hey, the same diapers you buy from company A, we can give you a better quality for the same price, or the same quality for a lower price, I do not see where that harms anyone.
Do you have, can you foresee the potential competitors in the future? Is that something that you may?
Of course, we can see someone trying to copy, of course, piggyback off our ideas and stuff, but at that point, our advertising strategy is to become number one, become like General Uber took over the taxis for themselves, become the word snacks for everybody, become like the only one, and be the brand, household name pretty much. So everyone thinks of snacks, they think of us. So any other competitor that we get in the same field, we out-compete and regardless of wherever they are.
And what makes you so confident that you can be number one?
Because our price differences are shown on the sheet. Who doesn't want to pay like £1 or 50% or less than what they can get wherever they want at a faster time as well.
But you don't, but you know, what stops someone else from trying to do the same?
We know the market very well, personally, and we know what kind of techniques work well to advertise to this market. So we're going to use that to benefit us in this situation.
Yeah, and of course someone can try getting in, but they also have to compete with the big dogs already, which they've really overcome that, of course.
And obviously we've been planning this for 3 years, so
yeah, it does take a lot of
planning
planning to get a stage that we are at.
Oh, I'm just saying this because, you know, a potential investor could say, I'm gonna start that business.
Yeah.
And because he can invest more, if they can do it, he probably can do it even cheaper because he's got more purchasing power.
Well, if an investor was to think that, they could also invest in us at the same time because we already know the market.
Yes, good answer.
I was just thinking, I would have said it was nice.
Yeah, because we know
because
the
they
market.
have the knowledge,
Yeah.
they probably know Manchester better than any investor.
we know the area like the back of our
We
hands.
know our field, we know the field, we know every option.
We know where students generally like to go as well. We know the area well, we know where student accommodations are, where the universities are, pretty much the whole area.
And a lot of the time throwing money at something doesn't always fix the issue. You know what I mean? You can throw money at a lot of things, but it doesn't always make it better.
You don't really get the personal connection with it, the experience,
I'm only asking the question.
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
And from our large audience, do we have a question?
No,
Oh yes, there is one.
At one point you must run out of questions.
They can just be more uncomfortable, like inside a minute. No, I was just wondering what you think the potential market is in Manchester, and how much of that market you will grab, like with certain time steps to that. Because you said January is your break-even point, right?
Yeah.
So how much of the market do you have to cover in order to break even?
Only 36,000 people.
Okay.
It's a very low amount that you get just to break even.
And how much should one customer order per month to reach that point?
Well, it's of course, like you said, it's data mostly, which we have break even. Not really the products itself that we're selling, because of course we're selling them on a low margin.
Okay.
So how much they buy and how much is not too much about.
And to be fair, it'd be the same amount that is sold at general
regular stores, yeah.
stores. So just like at your local stores, as much as it's sold as that, it'd be the same amount.
Maybe even higher possibly.
Because we've also interviewed and surveyed stores around the areas that we're going to be selling in, so we know around about how many sales we'd be making at that point.
Because I just remember when hearing a pitch from a similar business, the most important questions that the VC side had is, what is customer acquisition cost? How much what's the lifetime of the customer, and how much do they have to spend for you to get a profit off? So that's just...
I give you personal on the lifetime value of a customer. I think I heard that so many times that I've never seen more overblown numbers. I mean, as I said, I'm in the real estate business. I would never calculate the lifetime value of a customer for me, because it's simply bullshit. This guy grows, and I do not have the right premise for it, he's gone. And so why would I be interested in that? Like that is not something that you want to compare. So I always find it very funny when people say that, because in my business, the life business is I don't know because I don't know when he dies. Very simple. Yeah. So for me, the important thing, as for anyone who's coming from the real estate business, is do I cover my costs as of now, and what is my margin right away, and the rest can make you very wealthy, but don't calculate on it. I saw a flower subscription company, and it was amazing. It was something like it cost us 25 euros to customer acquisition cost, and the lifetime value of the customer is of like 12,300. Which is amazing, in particular given the fact that this company went out of business within 6 months. So I'm like, yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that's the problem with lifetime acquisition. Unfortunately, your lifetime wasn't enough. So no, that is there are some numbers actually. I understand why VCs have them and look at them, but I would not spend an hour trying to calculate them for them. They should do it themselves and have an idea on that, because it is really predicting, do you get a customer base that is so big that that we can get the statistics down to a core area. But there's a long way you have to go to get to that point. And that you have to bridge that first. That is will be very interesting. Whatever you come up with at that time is completely different from when you start with Microsoft. But I'm in different generation.
I find that perhaps some VCs tend to follow each other, so there is like sharing the risk, or just but there is it's a two side. There's a kind of, if someone is wrong, then everyone else failed as well. So it's.
But two of the biggest crises I remember, and I saw the savings and loan crisis as well. So it was actually three. Was falling hell mentality. We saw we all probably some of us remember the 2000 crash, the dot-com bubble, where people thought now everything is different. We saw the 2008 crisis, and reasons were there was so much money and people could not afford not to pay that. So you had to. People were screaming at investment banks, "Oh, you did not bring me into .com. You did not get me the subprime mortgages, which is super high yield, and which actually created a market that simply burst because the assumptions were not right." So, but it is as it is. When people know this is how we can bring raise funds, and that's what people are for, then of course we will do so. I think on our side, as the people who run the companies, you must be very careful with that. As I said, I like niches, and you can build very well. I like this student approach that you're like, okay, we really go there and we know that, and the particularities rather than well, we do what everybody else does. So personally, from my side, if I may say that, the weakest point of your argument is the price, because prices can be undercut by whoever. Yeah? But the strongest point is that you say, well, we know this target audience, which is super strong for us, and which, even in the mentality of like Uber Eats, or actually we do not have Glitter, where like, no, we want for corporate reasons, we want to really cover everything. So I think that approach that you have is much more valid to say, well, why don't we stay there? Other people will come anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's you cannot run a stream of water and the sides stay quiet. They will eventually run with it. So I like that a lot.
one final unrelated question. Do you think the Bitcoin will be the next crash in the future, or is that something that...
Crush in the sense of not crush,
No,
or crash?
no, I mean, crash as in the subprime, or, you know, a global crisis or something like that.
No.
No, okay.
I think it will, okay, I will put that. I love blockchain. I think it's ingenious. I devour everything, tokens. I see some applications are weird. I'm an art collector. I would not buy an NFT. I went to Sotheby's yesterday. I just wouldn't do it. It's fun to see, but I still love to buy art because I just love to look at it. I don't care if it's a serigraph or if it's a one-time display. And NFT, tokenize it doesn't make sense, but blockchain in itself is ingenious. I personally hope that's that Bitcoin will crash. I do not say when, but this one investment legend in the United States said it's a limited supply of nothing, and I think that is true to say. The thing is, it will not be a crash. I read yesterday, be careful because it's what's the value right now, 2.3 trillion, and the whole market is something like 270 trillion, so it's like approximately a percent. But the difference is this with the, and they say, well, it's very much like subprime mortgages, where it was 0.5% of the overall market. The difference was only that with the subprime mortgages, the money was in it. In the Bitcoin, a lot of the money was created only by calculating the current price versus all the coins out there. That does not mean that all the money flew into it. So only a lot of people think themselves very rich as of now. And if the price goes down, it does not mean that whatever trillion are burning up. It's just this value doesn't exist anymore. It's just yeah. So it's a huge. Personally, I think it's a huge inflated bubble. People are happy with it, so I'm fine with it. I will not pay for it. But actually, we're looking at a Bitcoin, a blockchain solution right now in the area of, and we might invest in it in the area of the registry, what's it called? Sorry, a licensing of, like, for some nurses thing, because there is a big problem that a human resources manager gets whatever testimony from the university. This person is allowed to carry the title lawyer or nurse, doctor even. We have these cases. And then they find out that it was actually photoshopped and this person was carried to have that. I mean, you're laughing there, but we have the biggest murder trial that we have right now in Germany is an anesthetic who definitely, he worked for 3 years in a clinic and 8 people died, definitely from anesthetic errors. And then they found out he never completed medical school. He never even attended it. It was a very good Photoshop of something. Now, positive side for the hospital is that in Germany there is no wrongful death payment.